Ladies and gentlemen, today is August 15th. Do you know what that means? August 15th. Today, we want to welcome, I guess, almost 2 million individuals who are going to be legalized in this country. 2 million people who are going to be legalized in this country without any law having been passed to legalize them. Isn't that fascinating? Our imperial president issued a fiat. He calls it prosecutorial discretion, rewriting our federal immigration laws, which in essence he was given the authority to do by our Supreme Court, which didn't have the authority to give him the authority to do anything. And so this is how laws are now made in Ameritopia. Congratulations. So one man has decided, just a few months before election time, because we all know the most important thing in the whole country is Obama's reelection, to, in essence, legalize a form of amnesty for almost 2 million individuals. And it's even worse than you know. The Daily Caller today, administration officials confirmed they've expanded the White House immigration policy for younger illegal aliens to include low-skill immigrants who have not completed middle school or high school. The shift adds roughly another 350,000 low-skill immigrants to the Department of Homeland Security policy, which was initially portrayed as including only 800,000 people under the age of 31 when it was announced by Obama. Now, the inclusion of middle school dropouts clashes with Obama's portrayal of the illegal immigrants as skilled workers, scientists, and entrepreneurs. One reason Congress did not pass the bill, the so-called DREAM Act, is because it is unpopular among voters, especially amid current high unemployment rates. The White House policy provides a 2-year amnesty for immigration-related law enforcement, plus a work permit. The decision vaults the illegal immigrants ahead of many foreigners who've applied to legally work in the United States. Did you know that? So these illegal aliens are first in line. The expanded amnesty is now expected to cover over 1.76 million people, according to an estimate by the Pro-Amnesty Migration Policy Institute. The foreign workers will now enter the legal job market alongside the 23 million American citizens who are unemployed or underemployed. Current unemployment rates are especially high among younger Latinos and African Americans. And the controversy over the president's Executive DREAM Act isn't necessarily a negative for the Obama campaign because Hispanic voters may feel pressured to rally around other Hispanics and vote for Obama if there is heated public criticism of the policy, writes the Daily Caller. So, just like that, federal immigration law is overturned. Today is August 15th. These folks go to the front of the line. It's even more than that. They qualify in many states for driver's licenses. What are you going to do with that? Let's see. Lydia, Maryland, the great WMAL. How are you, Lydia?
Hi, how are you, sir? I love your show. Thank you so much. I learned so much from it.
Thank you.
I was calling because I heard on CNN today about the out-of-state tuition privileges that illegal Americans are going to be receiving.
Yes, illegal aliens who are now illegal Americans, and they're going to be receiving it in states like yours, Maryland.
My state. I actually just applied to school, and I am not approved as a Maryland state resident. I grew up in Maryland, and I left for a number of years, and I moved back, and I have been paying taxes in Maryland since 2011, and I applied to Maryland University, and they said that they did not consider me an in-state student because my driver's license was 1 month short of in-state status. So instead of a $1,500 for one class, it's $3,900.
Gee whiz. So liberalism isn't very compassionate to you, is it?
It isn't, and it's actually not compassionate to nurses because I'm going to graduate school for nursing, which I find shocking because with all of the other fun stuff that's going on with healthcare, this is what you're doing to your nurses that want to improve themselves to take better care of you. And I just cannot believe that something that starts with the status of illegal, which equals criminal, gets a privilege that I don't. And for me, as a nurse, I have a background check on me to make sure I've never committed a crime so I can be a nurse. But someone with a status that starts as illegal can have that privilege of in-state tuition, yet I cannot.
It's a complete outrage. You're absolutely right. And
I'm shocked. I worked with someone from another country, and she was telling me horror stories about her country, and I'm sorry for it, and I don't mean to be cruel to other people. However, if you come to this country and you steal citizenship for your children, my mother could steal me a car so I could drive to school. It wouldn't mean I could keep the car, for my life to be better so I could have one. So I just don't understand how that's possible. So
it's possible because this has nothing to do with what's right or just and everything to do with politics. And I'm going to tell you, it's even worse than you say, Lydia. There are people who have been following the procedures to get into this country legally. They're currently not here. They're following the procedures to get into the country legally, legal immigrants, and under Obama's dictate, these folks just jumped the line. And the bureaucracy in Washington and these consulates and everywhere else have been told, you deal with these people first, and everybody else has to wait.
My family was sponsored to come here in 1945, and they came over, and when my grandfather crossed the ocean, he said he had a lump in his throat when he saw the Statue of Liberty. Mm-hmm. And they came here to give me a better life. And what my family is telling me now is, you're just going to have to work harder. And they already did everything legally for me to have a better life, and I have to work 2 times as hard to have what I already earned.
I know. All right. Well, I'm sorry, Lydia. You take care, okay? You'll do fine, I can tell. You're a fighter. I can tell. It's too bad President Obama can't hear you, and all the other politicians aren't listening to Lydia, because Lydia's situation could be multiplied by millions, too. People shouldn't be jumping in front of the line. They shouldn't be granted anything. In-state tuition, and now we're finding that these folks will be able to get, in some states, driver's licenses. And since the Justice Department has all but eliminated requirements for voting, or at least that's what it's attempting to do, I'm extremely concerned about that. But that's exactly why they're doing it. Obama and Holder, they're not doing this, and Napolitano because they love people. They're not doing it because they love people from south of the border or any other border for that matter. They're doing it for themselves. And I'm going to tell you what really annoys me. This is why I don't go to the Republican convention. This is why I assume I'm persona non grata with a lot of these guys. Have you heard any Republicans speak out about this? Any? Almost 2 million people being granted backdoor citizenship? Not technically, but technically enough. Have you heard Boehner object to this? No, he's not going to say a word. Have you heard the Senate leadership? No, they're not going to say a word. Have you heard Romney? Not a word. And you want to know why? You're not going to like this. Because they're not going to reverse it. They're simply not going to reverse it. Have you heard from Jeb Bush? No, because he agrees with this. And I'm going to be honest with you, most talk show hosts won't even talk about it. Cable TV's not talking about it. August 15th comes and goes without a thought, and our citizenship requirements, our border requirements, again, snap of the finger, changed. 2 fingers. What happened on August 1st? What happened on August 1st? On August 1st, the HHS regulation went in place that compels Catholic institutions and other faith institutions that object to funding contraceptives, directly or indirectly, it compels them to do it. That's 15 days ago. Came and went. Not a thought, not a debate, a clear violation of religious liberty in the First Amendment. Whatever you think about it, it's a violation of the Constitution. Came and went without even any notice.